Elena's fingers trembled as she typed the text message. Her vision blurred with tears, making it hard to see the screen clearly. She didn't notice she'd selected the wrong contact. He broke my neck. Send. The moment that message left her phone, everything changed. But we need to rewind 12 hours to understand how a broken heirloom necklace would bring a mafia boss to her doorstep and unravel secrets that were supposed to stay buried forever. That morning started ordinary enough. Elena Rodriguez sat across from her husband David at their kitchen table, the silence between them thick as fog. 3 years of marriage had reduced them to polite strangers sharing a mortgage. He scrolled through his phone. She pushed eggs around her plate. Neither acknowledged the growing canyon between them. David worked in corporate finance. Stable, predictable, safe. Everything Elena's mother had wanted for her when she'd pushed them together. The perfect match on paper. Him with his investment portfolio, her with her art gallery job that barely paid rent. Their argument that evening came out of nowhere. Or maybe it had been building for months, simmering beneath every forced smile and obligatory kiss goodnight. "You never listened to me," Elena said, her voice quiet but sharp. David glanced up from his laptop. "I'm listening right now." "No, you're waiting for me to stop talking so you can get back to work." What happened next escalated fast. Voices rising. Old resentments surfacing. Elena grabbed her grandmother's necklace from the counter. The one piece of jewelry that meant everything to her. Gold filigree with a small emerald, passed down 3 generations. She was making a point about how David never understood what mattered to her, holding it up like evidence. He reached for it, trying to calm her down, and the delicate chain snapped. Beads scattered across the hardwood floor like tears. Elena stood frozen, watching her inheritance roll under the refrigerator, behind the cabinet, everywhere and nowhere at once. The silence that followed felt like death. David started apologizing immediately, offered to get it fixed, promised he'd take it to the best jeweler in the city. His words bounced off her like rain on concrete. She walked to their bedroom without responding, closed the door, picked up her phone. Her mother would understand this feeling. The weight of losing something irreplaceable. The way David had broken more than just a necklace tonight. Through tears, Elena found her mom's contact. At least she thought she did. "He broke my neck." Autocorrect had been trying to help. She'd meant to type necklace, but emotion made her fingers clumsy. The message went out before she could catch the error, and it went to Damien Kong instead of Mom. See, Elena didn't know Damien, never met him, didn't know his name or that he existed. What she didn't know was that her phone number used to belong to someone else, someone connected to very dangerous people. When she'd gotten this new number from her carrier 6 months ago, it had come with invisible baggage. Damien had been trying to reach his associate, called the number twice, got Elena both times, assumed the guy had changed his personal line. He'd kept the number stored, labeled simply as Marcus Personal. But Damien wasn't just anyone. He ran the largest Korean organized crime syndicate on the West Coast. Money laundering, protection rackets, high-stakes underground gambling, all of it flowing through his hands. At 34, he built an empire most men twice his age couldn't manage. He was also completely obsessed with Elena Rodriguez. For 6 months, he'd been watching her. Not in a creepy stalker way. Well, maybe exactly in a creepy stalker way, depending on how you looked at it. It started by accident. A business deal at the art gallery where she worked. He'd seen her explaining a painting to an elderly couple. The way her whole face lit up when she talked about brushstrokes and color theory. Something shifted in his chest that day. Damien, who'd killed men without hesitation, who'd built his empire on fear and calculated violence, found himself wanting to know everything about this woman who smiled like sunshine existed just for her. He learned her routine. Coffee shop every morning at 7:15. Gallery until 6. Sometimes she'd stay late, working on her own paintings in the back room. Twice a week she'd meet friends for dinner. Sundays she visited her mother across town. And every evening, she went home to David Chun, her husband, the man Damien had come to despise without ever speaking a word to him. Because David didn't see what he had. Damien watched them through restaurant windows, saw the way Elena would try to engage him in conversation while David checked his phone. He'd seen her reach for David's hand only for him to pull away, distracted by some email. It ate at Damien. This woman deserved someone who looked at her like she hung the stars. Instead, she got a corporate drone who treated her like a roommate. But Damien had rules. Lines he wouldn't cross. She was married. She'd made her choice. He could watch from the shadows, could imagine a different life, but he wouldn't interfere. Until his phone buzzed at 11:37 that night. He was in a meeting. 3 of his captains sat around the table in his downtown office, discussing a shipment problem. Damien glanced at the message preview on his screen. He broke my neck. The room temperature dropped 20 degrees. His captains felt the change immediately, straightening in their chairs. Damien stood so fast his chair crashed backward. Meeting's over. Get out. They didn't ask questions. Knew better than that. Alone, Damien stared at those 4 words. His mind raced through scenarios, each one darker than the last. The number showed as Marcus Personal, but the message was clearly from Elena. Had she gotten a new phone? Was she using someone else's? Didn't matter. What mattered was that her husband had apparently hurt her badly enough that she was reaching out for help. Damien grabbed his keys, called his most trusted enforcer. Meet me at the Chin residence. Bring the kit. The kit meant tools for making someone disappear. Permanently. 23 minutes later, Damien stood outside Elena and David's townhouse. Lights still on inside. He could see shadows moving behind the curtains. His enforcer waited by the car, watching the street. Damien's hand formed a fist. He'd imagined this moment differently. Maybe running into her at a coffee shop, striking up a conversation, seeing where it led naturally. This wasn't natural. This was rage. He knocked on the door. 3 sharp raps that echoed like gunshots. Elena heard the knocking and froze. David was in the kitchen, still picking up beads from the broken necklace, his apologies having shifted to frustrated silence. "I'll get it," he called out. She stayed in the bedroom, wiping her eyes. Who would be at their door this late? They didn't have friends who dropped by unannounced. Her mother certainly wouldn't drive over without calling first. Through the door, she heard David's voice. Confused. Cautious. "Can I help you?" Then another voice. Deep. Controlled. Dangerous in a way that made Elena's stomach drop, even though she couldn't hear the words clearly. She opened the bedroom door and stepped into the hallway. The front door stood wide open. David had backed up 3 steps into their living room. In the doorway stood a man Elena had never seen before. Tall. Sharp suit that probably cost more than their car. Dark hair swept back from a face that could have been carved from marble. But it was his eyes that stopped her, cold, dark, intense, and currently fixed on David with the kind of focus a predator gives prey. "Where is she?" the stranger asked. David's hands came up defensively. "Look, I don't know who you are or what you want, but..." "Elena Rodriguez. Where is she?" Hearing her name from this stranger's mouth sent ice down Elena's spine. How did he know her? Why was he here? She stepped further into the hallway. "I'm right here." The stranger's gaze snapped to her. Something flickered across his face. Relief, maybe, followed immediately by a scanning assessment like he was checking for injuries. His eyes moved over her face, her arms, her neck. "Are you hurt?" he asked. "I'm sorry, what?" Elena's mind couldn't catch up. Nothing about this made sense. David moved between them. "I'm calling the police." "Go ahead." The stranger didn't even look at him. Kept his attention locked on Elena. "Are you hurt?" he repeated. "No, I'm fine." "I don't understand what's." "You texted me that he broke your neck." The words hung in the air like smoke. Elena's brain stuttered. Texted him? She'd texted her mother about the necklace, about David breaking the... Oh no. Oh God. The autocorrect. The wrong contact. She must have somehow sent it to a random number, and this man, whoever he was, had interpreted it completely differently. "There's been a mistake," Elena said quickly. "I didn't mean. It was supposed to say necklace. My necklace broke." The stranger's expression didn't change. He looked at her for a long moment, then at David, then back at her. Processing. Recalculating. David's phone was already in his hand. "I'm seriously calling the police right now if you don't leave." "Put the phone down," the stranger said, his voice quiet but absolute. Something in his tone made David hesitate. Elena saw her husband's hand shake slightly. "It was a misunderstanding," Elena said, stepping forward. "I was upset. My grandmother's necklace broke during an argument. I meant to text my mom, but I must have." She pulled out her phone, scrolling frantically through her contacts. There. Somehow Mom and another contact had gotten mixed up. A number she didn't recognize, saved under a name that wasn't familiar. The stranger pulled out his own phone, showed her the screen. Her message stared back at her from his texts. "You're Marcus?" Elena asked, reading the contact name. "No." He put the phone away. "This number used to belong to someone who worked for me. I kept it saved. When I got your message..." He trailed off. The implications settled over the room like ash. This man had thought she was in danger, had shown up at her door late at night, clearly ready to... What? Rescue her? Hurt David? Who are you? Elena's voice came out smaller than she intended. Before he could answer, David found his courage again. "You need to leave. Now. I don't care what you thought was happening. This is our home and you're trespassing." The stranger looked at David properly for the first time. Really looked at him. Elena saw something cold and measuring in that gaze, like he was calculating exactly how much effort it would take to remove David from the equation permanently. "You broke her grandmother's necklace," the stranger said. It wasn't a question. David blinked, thrown by the shift. "It was an accident. We were arguing, Anne. Do you make her cry often?" The question hit like a slap. David's face reddened. "That's none of your business. Answer the question." Elena's heart hammered. The tension in the room felt explosive. She needed to defuse this before it escalated into something terrible. "Stop," she said firmly. "Both of you." She looked at the stranger. "Thank you for... I appreciate that you were trying to help. But as you can see, I'm fine. It was just a misunderstanding." The stranger's jaw tightened. He didn't move toward the door. "I need you to leave," Elena added, gentler this time. For a moment, she thought he might refuse. His eyes held hers, and Elena felt something pass between them. An electric current she couldn't name. Recognition, maybe. Or the ghost of something that hadn't happened yet. Then he stepped back. "If you need help, real help, that number reaches me directly." "She won't need help," David snapped. "From you or anyone else." The stranger ignored him completely. Kept his focus on Elena. Anytime, day or night. He turned and walked back to his car. Elena and David stood in the doorway watching a black Mercedes pull away from the curb and disappear into the night. David slammed the door. What the hell was that? Elena couldn't answer. Her hands were shaking. Her phone felt heavy in her palm. She should delete that number. Block it. Pretend this never happened. Instead, she saved it properly. Changed the contact name to something she'd remember. Just in case. Sleep didn't come easy that night. Elena lay in bed staring at the ceiling while David snored beside her, already having dismissed the entire incident as some random crazy person who got the wrong idea. But Elena couldn't stop replaying the moment. The way the stranger had looked at her. The raw concern in his voice when he'd asked if she was hurt. The absolute certainty with which he'd shown up, ready to. What exactly? She grabbed her phone from the nightstand. 3:47 a.m. The contact stared back at her. She'd labeled it simply D. Who was he? How did he know where she lived? And why did part of her, some reckless, buried part, feel disappointed that he'd left? Morning came with artificial normalcy. David made coffee, kissed her forehead, apologized again about the necklace, and promised to get it fixed by the weekend. Everything back to the usual script. Elena went through the motions. Shower, dress, drive to the gallery. But her mind stayed stuck on dark eyes and dangerous questions. The gallery was quiet that Tuesday. Mrs. Patterson came in around 11 to browse the watercolors. A young couple spent an hour debating between two abstract pieces. Otherwise, Elena had too much time alone with her thoughts. She found herself Googling Korean organized crime in the city. The articles were vague, full of speculation and few confirmed details. One name kept appearing though, Damien Kong. Suspected of running the largest syndicate on the West Coast. No arrests, no convictions, nothing that stuck. Either he was very good at what he did or very good at making evidence disappear. The photo accompanying one article showed a man leaving a courthouse. The image was grainy, taken from a distance, but Elena's breath caught. Same sharp jawline. Same imposing presence, even through a telephoto lens. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. The necklace can be repaired. There's a jeweler on 5th Street. Kim's Fine Jewelry. Tell him Damien sent you. Elena's fingers hovered over the keyboard. She should ignore this. Delete it. Tell David. Call the police even. Instead, she typed, "How did you get my actual number?" The response came immediately. "I've always had it." Ice ran down her spine. What does that mean? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. "We should talk. In person." Every rational part of Elena's brain screamed no. This was dangerous. This man was clearly involved in illegal activities. He'd shown up at her house. He'd been watching her somehow. But curiosity burned hotter than caution. When? Now. There's a coffee shop 2 blocks from your gallery. The corner bean. Elena looked around the empty gallery. Her assistant wouldn't be in until 2. She could lock up for 30 minutes. People did it all the time for lunch breaks. This was insane. Absolutely insane. She grabbed her keys. The corner bean was one of those hipster places with exposed brick and baristas who took coffee more seriously than surgery. Elena spotted Damien immediately. He sat in the back corner, positioned so he could see both the entrance and the emergency exit. A habit, she guessed, from his line of work. He stood when she approached, gestured to the chair across from him. A latte already waited there. Hazelnut, skim milk, 1 sugar. Exactly how she took it. Elena sat slowly, her eyes on the cup. How did you know my coffee order? I pay attention. Damien settled back into his chair. Up close, in daylight, he was even more striking. Sharp cheekbones. A small scar above his left eyebrow. Hands that looked like they could be gentle or brutal, depending on the situation. You've been watching me, Elena said. Not a question. Yes. The blunt honesty somehow made it worse and better simultaneously. For how long? 6 months. Elena's stomach flipped. 6 months. Half a year of this stranger observing her life, learning her patterns, knowing things he had no right to know. That's stalking, she said quietly. It is. No denial. No justification. Just acknowledgement. Why? Damien leaned forward slightly. Because from the moment I saw you, I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. Because you deserve better than what you have. Because I'm very good at taking what I want. But you were the first thing I wanted that I decided to leave alone. The words hit like a physical force. Elena's breath caught. Nobody had ever spoken to her like this, with such raw, unflinching honesty. Until last night, she managed. Until I thought someone had hurt you. Then all my rules stopped mattering. Elena wrapped her hands around the warm cup. You were going to kill my husband. Damien didn't flinch. If he had actually harmed you? Without question. The scary part was how much that statement didn't scare her. It should terrify her. Instead, something dangerous inside her chest tightened with an emotion she couldn't name. I don't even know you, Elena whispered. You want to though. Not arrogant. Observant. You came here. Deleted nothing. You're curious about what this could be. He was right. God help her. He was completely right. I'm married. Unhappily. That doesn't give you the right. I'm not claiming any rights. Damien's voice stayed level. I'm just stating facts. You're in a marriage that's slowly suffocating you. He doesn't see you. Doesn't appreciate you. Takes you for granted every single day. Tears pricked Elena's eyes because every word landed true. And what? You're my knight in shining armor. The criminal who's going to save me. I'm not a knight. I've done terrible things, Elena. I'll do more terrible things before I'm done. But I see you. Every part of you. The art you create and hide in the back room. The way you light up explaining paintings to people who actually care. The sadness you carry when you think no one's watching. Elena's hands shook. This is crazy. Probably. I should leave. You should. He didn't move to stop her. But you won't. Elena didn't leave. She sat there for another hour, talking to a man who represented everything dangerous and wrong, feeling more alive than she had in 3 years of marriage. Damien told her things he probably shouldn't. About his organization, carefully edited but honest enough. About how he'd built his empire from nothing after his father was killed when he was 19. About the weight of leading people who depended on him for their survival. And Elena found herself talking too. About her art. Her dreams of having her own show someday. How she'd wanted to study painting in Paris, but her mother had convinced her to be practical, get a real job, marry someone stable. David was the safe choice, she admitted. Safe isn't the same as right. When Elena finally returned to the gallery, her assistant Sarah gave her a knowing look. Long lunch, something like that. The rest of the week blurred. Damien texted her every day. Nothing inappropriate. Just present. Good morning messages. Questions about her day. Photos of art he thought she'd like. It felt like being seen for the first time in years. David noticed nothing. Too buried in quarterly reports and client meetings to register that his wife was slipping away. Friday night, Elena made a decision. She texted Damien. I want to see you again. His response came fast. Tomorrow. I'll send you an address. She should have told David. Should have confessed everything, given him a chance to fight for their marriage. Instead, she told him she was meeting her friend Jessica for brunch. The address Damien sent led to a private art studio in the warehouse district. Elena's heart hammered as she climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor. The door was unlocked. Inside, she found a space that took her breath away. 20-foot ceilings. Natural light pouring through massive windows. Canvases stacked against walls. Professional-grade supplies organized on shelves. And in the center, Damien, wearing jeans and a black t-shirt instead of his usual suit. "What is this?" Elena whispered. "Yours. If you want it." He gestured around the space. "I know you've been painting in that cramped back room at the gallery. Thought you deserved somewhere you could actually create." Tears welled up. Nobody had ever done anything like this for her. "Damien, I can't." "You can. No strings. You never have to see me again if you don't want to. But you needed space and I could provide it, so I did." Elena walked slowly through the studio, running her fingers over clean brushes, quality canvas, paints she'd only dreamed of affording. This was what being seen looked like. This was what it felt like when someone paid attention to what mattered to you. She turned to face him. "Why are you doing this?" "Because you're extraordinary and you've forgotten that." Someone needed to remind you. The space between them felt charged. Electric. Dangerous. "I'm still married," Elena said, but her voice wavered. Damien crossed the distance slowly. Stopped inches away. "I know. This is wrong. Probably. I should go home." "Should you?" His hand came up, not touching her but close enough that she could feel the heat. "Or should you stay and paint something? No pressure. No expectations. Just you and the art you've been suppressing." Elena's resolve crumbled. She stayed. Painted for 4 hours while Damien worked on his laptop in the corner, giving her space but remaining present. It felt intimate in a way that had nothing to do with physical touch. When she finally left, her soul felt lighter than it had in years. That night, David was already in bed when she got home. How was Jessica? Good. Really good. Lying had never come easy to Elena. Now it slid out smooth as silk. That should have alarmed her more than it did. Sunday morning, her phone rang. Unknown number, but not Damien's. "Mrs. Chin? This is Detective Morrison with the LAPD. I need to ask you some questions about Damien Kong." Elena's blood turned to ice. "I don't know who that is. Please don't insult my intelligence. We have footage of you entering a property he owns yesterday. Stayed for 4 hours. We've been building a case against Kong for 3 years. If you're involved with him, you need to understand what kind of danger you're in." The detective wanted to meet. Elena agreed, more out of shock than decision-making. They met at a diner on neutral ground. Detective Morrison was a woman in her 50s with tired eyes and a file folder thick as a phone book. She laid out photos, crime scenes, victims, evidence of everything Damien's organization had done. "He's not what you think," Morrison said. "Men like Kong are predators. They charm you, make you feel special, then they own you." "How did you meet him?" Elena told her about the text. The misunderstanding. Left out the months of watching. Morrison's expression darkened. "He's been surveilling you. This isn't romance, Mrs. Chin. This is obsession. It's control. And when you try to leave, that's when it gets ugly." Elena looked at the photos. Tried to reconcile them with the man who'd built her a studio. Who'd asked for nothing in return. Who looked at her like she mattered. "I need you to help us," Morrison continued. "Wear a wire. Get him talking. We can protect you, but we need evidence." "I can't." "You mean you won't?" Elena stood. "I need to think." She left the diner with Morrison's card burning a hole in her pocket. Drove home in a daze. David was watching football in the living room. "Elena, you okay? You look pale." She looked at her husband. Safe, boring David who'd never once asked what she needed. Then thought of Damien. Dangerous, attentive Damien who saw straight through to her soul. Her phone buzzed. "Damien, dinner tonight?" "Just dinner. I promise." Elena's fingers hovered over the keyboard. On the TV, the crowd roared. David cheered at some play she didn't see. She typed, "Yes," and sealed whatever fate was coming. Dinner was at a private restaurant that didn't advertise, didn't have a sign, and definitely didn't seat walk-ins. Damien met her at the door, looking dangerous in a dark navy suit that probably cost more than Elena's car. They talked for hours, about everything and nothing. He made her laugh, something David hadn't done in months. Asked her opinions and actually listened to the answers. Looked at her like she was the only person in the world. When he drove her home, he parked a block away. Always careful. Always aware. "I need to tell you something," Elena said before she could lose her nerve. "The police contacted me. They want me to inform on you." Damien's expression didn't change. "I know. You know, Detective Morrison. She's been trying to flip anyone close to me for 2 years. Did you agree?" Elena shook her head. "I told her I needed to think." "What are you thinking now?" "That I don't know who I am anymore." Elena's voice cracked. 3 weeks ago, I was an unhappy housewife. Now I'm lying to my husband, meeting with a mafia boss, being recruited by the police. Everything's spinning out of control." Damien reached over, cupped her face gently. "Then let it spin. Stop trying to control everything. Stop being what everyone else needs you to be. What if I don't know what I want?" "Yes, you do." His thumb brushed her cheek. "You're just afraid to take it." Elena closed her eyes. When she opened them, she'd made a decision. "I can't do this anymore. Any of this. I need to figure out my life. And I can't do that with you pulling me in one direction and David anchoring me in another." Pain flashed across Damien's face, quickly masked. Okay. I told you. I want you to choose me, but only if you actually want to. Not because I'm exciting or dangerous or pay attention to you. Because you genuinely want this life." He pulled back. "Take your time. Figure yourself out. I'll be here if you decide you want me." Elena left his car feeling more confused than ever. 2 weeks passed. Elena threw herself into painting at the studio, avoiding both Damien and serious conversations with David. She was painting her grandmother when her phone rang. David, calling in the middle of the workday. "Elena, where are you?" "The studio, why?" "You need to come home. Now. Don't go to the house. Meet me at Giovanni's. It's important." The fear in his voice made her stomach drop. "David, what's wrong? Just meet me. Please." 20 minutes later, Elena slid into the booth across from her pale, terrified husband. His hands shook around his coffee cup. "I know about Damien Kong," David said. Elena's heart stopped. "David, let me finish. I hired a private investigator. I knew something was going on. I thought maybe an affair, but then the PI found out who he is." "What he is?" David's eyes filled with tears. "Elena, this man is a killer, a criminal, and he's obsessed with you. It's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is. Because from where I'm sitting, my wife has been meeting secretly with a mobster, and I don't understand why you're still alive unless..." He stopped. Horror dawned on his face. "Unless you're helping him. Unless you're part of whatever he's planning." "I'm not part of anything." "Then what?" "You're in love with him." David's voice cracked. "Is that it? You're leaving me for a criminal?" Elena opened her mouth, closed it, because she didn't know the answer, and that silence was answer enough. David's face crumbled. "I've been a terrible husband. I know that. I took you for granted. Stopped seeing you. But Elena, I love you. I can still fix this. We can go to counseling. I can change." "David, please don't choose him. He's dangerous." The PI found things, bodies, Elena. People who crossed him, who disappeared. If you try to leave him, if you become a liability. He's not like that with me. That's what everyone thinks until it's too late. David grabbed her hands desperately. "Come home. Right now. We'll pack. Leave the city. Start over somewhere he can't find us. I have money saved. We can disappear." Before Elena could respond, the restaurant door opened. Damien walked in, followed by 2 men Elena recognized from news articles. His enforcers. David went white. "Oh God." Damien approached their table slowly. His expression was unreadable. "David. Elena. We need to talk." "Stay away from her," David said, trying to sound brave and failing. "Sit down," Damien said quietly. It wasn't a request. David stayed standing for 3 more seconds. Then his survival instinct kicked in. He sat. Damien slid into the booth next to Elena. "Too close. Possessive. Your husband hired a private investigator. That investigator has been asking questions in places he shouldn't. Now I have people asking me why David Chun is so interested in my business. I just wanted to know who you were," David stammered. "I wanted to protect my wife." "Noble. Stupid, but noble." Damien turned to Elena. "You need to make a choice. Right now. Because this situation can't continue. Either you're with him and I walk away permanently, Or you're with me, and we handle this properly. Handle what properly? Elena whispered. Your marriage. Your life. Everything. Damien's eyes bore into hers. I need to know, Elena. What do you want? David grabbed her hand. Please. Choose us. Choose safe. Damien said nothing. Just waited. Elena looked between them. Her husband, offering safety and mediocrity and guilt-driven love. The criminal, offering danger and passion and a life she couldn't predict. But there was something else. Something neither man knew. There's something I need to tell you both, Elena said quietly. About who I really am. About why I ended up with that phone number in the first place. Both men stared at her. My real name isn't Elena Rodriguez. It's Elena Sokolov. And 5 years ago, I witnessed something I was never supposed to see.